Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to use MediaBiasFactCheck.com or MBFC as another tool in our toolkit to help us combat the presence and prevalence of fake news online. Specifically, this is going to help us to answer the second question of the purpose step of the CRAP test, which is whether or not there's identifiable bias in a source that we're using. So there's a few ways that we can use MBFC. The first way is right here. MBFC is a website that tries to categorize various sources according to their level or degree of bias. So right here, you can see on the bar, they have left bias websites, left center, least biased, right center, right, and then it kind of goes from there. So the first way we can use is if we're looking for a source that maybe is not biased at all, you can see that we can sort of use this to actually try to find resources that are not going to present any bias. So right off the bat, that's a pretty cool little tip right there. Additionally, you can certainly use websites that are left center bias or right center bias, understanding the natural shortcomings of a site that maybe has some degree of bias, and then you'll have things like left bias, right bias, and then conspiracy or pseudoscience, and you're not going to want to use these. And what's great about that is, for example, you could click on right bias, and in clicking on right bias, I can then use that Control F option because perhaps I'm on a website and maybe I click in Breitbart. I see Breitbart comes up here, and I would immediately know right then and there that this is something that is right bias and probably something I'm not going to want to use. Let me go a step further and let me go ahead and click on Breitbart. And what you're going to see is very cool here is that they actually have this visual graphic that lets you know where they have categorized the bias of a given website. So for example, you'll see that this is kind of between right and extreme right. And you're going to see here then that there's an actual explanation of what right bias means. Additionally, you're going to see that they always give this little score for their factual reporting of any particular website. So what you can see is this is pretty cool and gives you a lot of insight into the bias that a given source has. So that's pretty great. Now, let me kind of just go ahead and show you the next step here. What I would like you all to do right when you're finished watching this video is to go ahead and open a new tab, because MBFC is not only a website that we can use, but it's also a Chrome extension, which you can use to then very quickly identify the bias, according to MBFC, of any site that you're actually on. So let's check this out. What you're going to do is type an MBFC extension. So again, you're going to be doing this right when you finish the video. You're going to go ahead and just click right there. And now I've already done this, but you're going to go ahead and just click, and you're going to add it to your Chrome. And you're going to quit out. And now let me show you what this does. Is you can see over here that right now it's gray, which means I can't use it. But let's say I create a new tab, and I go to Breitbart, go to Breitbart.com right here, which is what we had just been looking at. And what you're going to see is all of a sudden this has lit up red, and it identifies right off the bat that it's right bias. But let me go a step further to just kind of understand what that means. I go ahead and click this and check that out. Exactly what we saw on the MBFC website now pops right up here. So I can read this and I can better understand whether or not this is a web page that I would want to use. Additionally, and again, I can see their factual reporting record. I see here again that's mixed. I just quit out of it and I say to myself, this is probably not something I'm going to want to use, and I can then go back from there. So guys, this is MBFC. Again, a very cool and very useful website, especially in helping us to determine whether or not there's identifiable bias as part of the purpose step of the CRAP test. And what I'm going to ask you to do now is to go ahead and add that Chrome extension. Again, type in MBFC extension to your Chrome browser and add it. Once you've done that, we're going to move on to the next robot. Thanks, guys.